Hey there, Mr. Redder here. Welcome back to another episode of r/entitled People Stories. Our first story we'll be reading today. My ex's daughter keeps destroying my relationships on purpose. After that, my wife went to her gender reveal appointment without me. And after that, entitled woman gets shut down at the grocery store. Now for every thumbs up this video gets, one Karen gets her relationship ruined. I've been trying to get rid of you for the past 12 years, Reddit boy. So please smash that like button and subscribe and turn on notifications for news stories from Reddit every single day. My ex's daughter keeps destroying my relationships on purpose. I, 35 female, used to date a guy we'll call Jacob, 37 male. We dated for 9 months before we mutually agreed to break up. Jacob has a 16-year-old daughter we'll call Emma. Emma's mom is not in her life, and apparently all previous exes treated her horribly. Emma calls me mom. I never had an issue with it even after the breakup, since I knew she didn't really have one and I cared for her. Emma often comes to visit me and stays over. About 2 months ago, I went on a date. Emma found out, but acted really excited for me and even insisted on helping me pick out a dress. We had a blast and even went for ice cream after. The date went well and I thought things were going good. However, about 1 week later, I received a text from my date calling me a horrible person and telling me to never talk to him again. This happened for the next 3 dates I went on, and at this point, I knew something was up. On the 4th date, the same thing happened as the previous 3 dates. However, this time I decided to ask for an explanation. He then sent me screenshots of messages he had received from a random number, claiming that I had a family and that I was cheating. I was shocked to see that the number which sent the messages was Emma's. Emma came over later that day, and I showed her the screenshots and asked if she sent this to all my previous dates. She admitted to sending this message to all my dates and apologized, saying that she thought if I got in a relationship, she would lose me. I felt bad and told her that she would never lose me and I would always be there for her. We had a heart-to-heart and then got sushi, and I thought this was the end of it. I went on another date last week. I had told my date about Emma and everything that had happened with her. He thought it was funny and had no problem with her being in my life still. Well, a day later, he sent me a message, and what do you know? Emma had messaged him the exact same messages she sent to everyone else. I called Emma and asked why she did this again when we had already talked about it, and told her that if she doesn't stop, she will not be able to come over to my house for a while, which is something I don't want to do. She got mad and started losing it on me before saying that I should get back with her father because we didn't end on bad terms before hanging up on me. I called her father and explained the situation. I told him that I think we need to get her a therapist as I think our breakup affected her more than we thought. I then told him that until the situation was resolved and she apologized, she shouldn't come over to my house for a while. I would still talk to her, just not see her until she starts therapy. Well, her father was furious. He called me everything in the book and said that while she was in the wrong and should see a therapist, I was a jerk for essentially cutting her out of my life because of it. I explained that it was only temporarily until the situation was resolved, however, he hung up. It's been a day and I feel really bad as I'm the only healthy mother figure she's ever had. However, I don't think I'm in the wrong as it's only until she starts therapy. So, am I the jerk? Edit. People are asking me how she got those numbers. I used to always give her my phone, even after the incidents, because I never had any reason to doubt her, and I thought the issue was resolved, so she most likely got it from there. I also have every intention of still talking to her, just not seeing her until she starts therapy. Edit 2. Someone suggested that maybe the reason previous exes didn't like her is because she did something like this, so I asked some mutual friends, and apparently she has a habit of getting attached to women very quickly and calling them mom. Apparently, it made all the exes uncomfortable, and a lot of them broke up with Jacob because of it. Edit 3. A couple people on here suggested that she might have installed an app on my phone to see what I was doing, and to my horror, after looking through my phone, I found an app called Guardian Parental Control, and this app lets you read text messages. I'm honestly in complete shock and don't know what to do. I was just weirded out by her behavior at first, but now I'm actually scared. For all I know, she watched me type all of this. I'm looking into getting a new phone now. However, any advice would be greatly appreciated. Edit 4. I told Emma's dad about the app and he laughed in my face. Turns out he knew about the app and told her to install it back when we first started dating so they could see if I was cheating on him. Apparently, he didn't install it on his phone because he knew I might check his phone at some point, so he told her to install it on hers. I asked him why he didn't tell me about it, or at least delete it after the breakup, and he said that he told Emma to, but she wanted to keep it, and apparently he saw no harm in her having access to my phone. Edit 5. I've decided to cut contact with them, at least until she starts getting help. However, I honestly don't know if I will ever talk to them again, even if she does get help. I'm currently changing all my passwords, as well as looking through all my devices for any other spying apps, and I'm going to factory reset all of them after. I had previously been looking into a new house. However, after everything that I just discovered today, I'm definitely going to be moving and hopefully somewhere far. I told my friends about this and they are looking out for me. I'm also staying with a friend until I can get a new place. I will keep you guys updated, and thanks for all your advice. Edit 6. I didn't think I would be making another edit for a while. However, while I was going through my laptop, I noticed Emma's Google account was logged in. This didn't surprise me, as I knew she had done this. I was about to log it out. However, my friend said he had a bad feeling about it, told me to check her Google Drive. In her Google Drive, I found a folder with my name on it. After everything I found out, I didn't want to know what was in there, but my friend opened it anyway. It had a bunch of bad pictures of me. Thankfully, they were all pictures I had sent to her dad back when we were dating. However, the fact that she has a whole folder dedicated to those photos definitely creeps me out. I've decided to just buy all new devices at this point, as I don't think I can handle finding anything else, and I just don't trust any of my devices anymore. Hopefully, this is the last update for a while. However, I will keep you all updated. Edit 7. Hopefully my last edit. I deleted all of the photos off the folder and the folder itself. I did, however, take screenshots and a screen recording for evidence. I told a friend who is a police officer about this and sent them all the evidence. They are currently helping me and are trying to get me some form of police protection. In the meantime, they are staying with me. Hopefully this all ends soon and I can just move on with my life. Thank you for all of your advice and for making me realize how unhealthy the relationship really was. I probably never would have found out about the spying app or the folder if it wasn't for all of you. Thank you all for your support, and hopefully the next time I have an update, it will be good news. Not the jerk. She does need therapy and this is not healthy. If you don't put some boundaries, she's going to keep doing this over and over. This was very odd to me, to be honest. You only dated 9 months and she started calling you mom? That seems like way too fast for someone who was just dating less than a year and did not even live in the same house. It would be much more understandable if she was around ages 1 through 4 and didn't know better, but a teenager attaching themselves to an adult even after a few months is really bizarre. It never sounded like it was a healthy relationship to start with. Not the jerk. You need to cut contact completely though. This is not normal behavior on her or her father's part. You dated 9 months, not 9 years. While I feel for Emma needing a motherly figure, that isn't and shouldn't be you. Especially since you were with her father for such a short amount of time. The fact he thinks you're wrong and called you all the names is also the problem. I get that you care for Emma, but this isn't a "we need to" situation. It's a "he needs to," because Emma isn't getting the message and your ex is enabling her. Everyone sucks here, mostly Jacob and Emma. I suspect that you're a bit of a kind soul that has been taken advantage of here, but you need to wake up and realize it or it will get worse. 1. OP, please step back and evaluate the situation with Emma. A 16-year-old who calls a girlfriend mom after 9 months is concerning. But when you should have made a clean break when you broke up, this was not a long-term situation, and you do not own the responsibility of giving her a stable female figure in her life. 2. Emma needs serious help. She's clearly got some abandonment issues here, but likely also has other issues as well. These are not your doing, nor your responsibility. They have to do with her mother abandoning her, and likely her father treating every relationship as her newfound mother. But you cannot fix this at all. 3. Jacob needs to be a parent. If he doesn't want people to cut his daughter out of her life, then he needs to be a parent and get her behavior under control. I would suspect if he was being honest, this is not the first crazy-making situation he's gotten mixed up with between his ex and his daughter. This would be such a good movie. Lifetime for the win. My wife went to her gender reveal appointment without me. My wife and I are expecting our first baby together. We made an appointment to find out the gender of the baby. To me, this is very important. I had hopes for a boy. Unfortunately, the day of the doctor's appointment, I had to attend my friend's birthday that I remembered last minute. I asked my wife if we could cancel the appointment and go another day, but she looked shocked that I was even considering canceling the appointment and going to my friend's birthday. I said I had no choice. She said canceling the doctor's appointment was off the table because these appointments are restricted to a specific time and date, and we can't miss it, so she'll go alone. I told her no, because that would be selfish of her, and besides, this will ruin the news of finding out if the baby is a boy or a girl. She cut the discussion and told me to go to the birthday party. I then later found out that she didn't cancel the doctor's appointment and went with her mom. I came home seething and blew up at her. I started arguing with her about going behind my back and doing this without me. She said it wasn't her fault that I prioritized a party over my kid. I told her I didn't prioritize anything. She literally could have canceled and we would have went another day, but clearly she was trying to steer the fight to a direction where I look like the neglectful and irresponsible one. We fought some, and then she said that I'm probably angry with her because it's a girl, but I responded that she was wrong. She went outside the room claiming I was stressing her out. Now acts like I owe her an apology on top of everything else, but I feel upset and like I was deceived by her. Am I the jerk? Info. First off, goodness. I came here thinking I was somewhat justified in my frustration, but I was wrong it seems. Although, I just want to point out that I did not just go to the party without telling my wife and having a discussion with her first. Also, the friend lives 2 hours away, so I had to leave at 2 and the appointment was at 4. I did not know she went, and I would have appreciated if at least she was upfront with me about what she did. She could have said she was going anyway, but instead told me to go to the party and had me thinking she was going to cancel and reschedule. Edit. For those who are speculating on the type of parent I am/will be, you really don't know enough to make those assumptions, so I'd appreciate it if you just focus on the conflict I just presented. You asked your wife to reschedule the gender reveal appointment because you wanted to go to a birthday party. Your wife gives a valid reason for not rescheduling, and you called her selfish because you wanted to go to a birthday party? You told your wife she couldn't go to the appointment without you because you wanted to go to a birthday party. How dense do you have to be to not realize the moment you asked her to reschedule the appointment, you were prioritizing the party over the appointment? I feel bad for your wife. You're the jerk. Makes you wonder how old he is that he can't miss someone's birthday party. Anyone over the age of 16 would understand if you gave them a quick call and explained the situation about why you won't be able to make it. Also, these scans are not just gender reveal scans, they are to check the health of the baby and mama. You literally put your wife and daughter in danger for a party. Great start to parenthood. In case it isn't clear, massive you're the jerk. And they only take like an hour max and are done during business hours. Who has a birthday party that's only an hour long during regular business hours? Even if the appointment was last of the day on a Friday, it would have been over in time for OP to go to the party and just be a little late. Huge holes in this story. You're the jerk. Honestly, the more I think about this, the angrier I get. He wanted to cancel a specialized appointment hours before it's scheduled? The doctors and nurses have enough to deal with without OP acting like he's canceling a reservation at his local Pizza Hut. With the impact of lockdown, people are waiting weeks and months to get to see doctors, and he thinks it's a case of, everyone can jump and accommodate me. What world does this guy live in? You're the jerk. Can't believe people are still doing this gender reveal crap. How stupid do you have to be to think that just because the doctor tells you it's a boy or a girl, that's actually what they will be? Only they know what gender they are, and it may take a few years to figure it out. I knew what my gender was by the time I was in kindergarten, and I battled my parents about it for the next 13 years. Not you, your wife, nor any doctor can make that decision for them. As long as you take part in this antiquated practice, you are so part of the problem. I'm no contact with my parents for over 10 years now because they were just as stupid and judgmental as you are. I hope you and your wife won't be as horrible as my parents were, but I doubt you won't be. Yowza knowza. Well, who do you think is the jerk? OP or his wife? Please let us know. Pro tip. Make him take an IQ test before you have a baby with him. Entitled woman gets shut down at the grocery store. This has been ongoing since before I even worked at this store. The lady comes in once a week and demands to be waited on when she's ready, and she's certainly not waiting in any line. She goes to a closed register and unloads her groceries. She then complains she didn't know it was closed, so usually someone gives in and waits on her so she doesn't have to put everything back in the cart and move to an actual open lane. Today was not the day for it. I woke up on the wrong side and was just not having it today. My department head is exhausted from all the hours she's putting in due to being short-staffed and doesn't give two hoots right now. Same for my store manager that's having to work 12-hour days to help night stock and to run the store 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. daily. They are both heavily dependent on their front-end shift managers to run things for them. This is giving us a little more power over these entitled jerks that think they have the God-given right to mistreat us. My department head was on a conference call with corporate, and my store manager was unloading a truck. So I get a call to come to a register that's closed. What? I arrive, and there she is, still unloading, but quite a bit on the belt. Me. Excuse me, ma'am, but this lane is closed. Karen. I didn't know. How was I supposed to know? Me. I don't know. Maybe by the neon green sign with the red letters that say closed, or the chain across the lane that also says closed, or the fact no one is standing at that register. Well, I didn't see them, so you need to get someone to wait on me. I don't have anyone to run the register right now. That's why it's closed. Make one of them. Pointing at the baggers that are not register trained. Me. That is not their job. They're doing their jobs. You will need to take your stuff and go to an actual open register. Then you do it. I'm sorry, but I'm unable to be on a register at this time. You will have to take your groceries to an actual open lane. I'm not reloading this card. Get one of them to help me if you want me to move. Me. No, they're busy assisting customers at the open lanes. I will just leave it all then. That's fine. You would rather me leave all of this than to wait on me? Ma'am, I have other things to attend to right now. If you want your groceries, move to another lane or leave them and we will put things back when we're able. At this point, I walked away and back to the service desk to wait on the people in line there. Now, the whole time this conversation was going on, she continued to unload. From what the others told me, she completely unloaded her cart, then stood with her hands on her hips for a few minutes, complaining and asking why no one was helping her. Other customers were rolling their eyes and scoffing at her. Miracle of miracles. She loaded it all back into her cart, but then she ramped it up and tried to cut the lines, loudly proclaiming she had been waiting and no one came to help her, so she had the right to cut. Not one customer let her cut. She ended up at the back of the lines. Because of her own self-entitlement, she probably waited 20 to 30 minutes extra to be waited on. But it gets even better. About 20 to 30 minutes after she left, she came back and came to the service desk. She had her cart still full. By now, both of my bosses have been informed of what happened. Both of them laughed because we're all just sick of being treated like crap. Me, customer service voice, and pretending I've never seen her before. Hi, what can I do for you today? Karen, I want to return all of this and get my money back. I don't appreciate how I was treated today. I'm going to the other store 20 minutes away. From now on. Me, unfortunately, I'm unable to do that. Due to lockdown restrictions, once it leaves the store, we are unable to do refunds and exchanges unless there is a quality issue. Get me a manager. Me. I am the shift manager on duty at this time. Get me your boss. My boss, walking out of the office behind me. Can I help you? Karen. Yes, you can. This jerk refused to ring up my groceries after I had already unloaded. She walked away from the register after I had unloaded and told me to go to heck. Me, about to explode from laughter and pent-up anger, but wisely kept my mouth shut. My boss, very slowly, crystal clear she doesn't believe her. Really? Karen. Yes, and I would like a refund on my groceries due to how she humiliated me. My boss. Well, I can't refund you your groceries due to lockdown restrictions, but I can call my store manager and we will review the footage from the cameras to see if we need to take any action. You're saying Brandy, me, was on a register, waiting on customers, stood there while you unloaded, then closed her lane, walked away, and yelled at you? Yes. My boss. I'm calling the store manager right now. Brandy, go to the office to wait, please. Store manager, after being updated by my boss. Yes, ma'am. Can I help you? Karen. Like I told her, pointing at my boss. That one that's in there, pointing to the office, is so rude. She waited until I was unloading to tell me the register was closed, then walked away. Didn't offer to help me, wouldn't let anyone else help me, and told me to go to heck. Store manager. So you're saying Brandy had a register open, waited for you to unload, and then just walked away for no reason, yelling at you as she left? Karen. Well, I'm pretty sure it was open, but she waited until I had unloaded to tell me it was closed, and I had to go to another lane, then refused to help me or let anyone else help me. And now I want a refund for how badly she treated me and neither of them will give me one. Store manager. I'm not sure if they explained to you, but due to lockdown restrictions, once a product leaves the store, unless there's a quality issue, we do not do refunds or exchanges. That's BS. I'm calling corporate. That's fine. That is your right. However, this is their policy, not just mine. Well, I'm also reporting all three of you for being so disrespectful, especially her. Pointing to me, still in the office and listening. Store manager. That's also your right. I will be reviewing the camera footage and getting statements from all of my staff about what happened. Appropriate action will be taken from there. Corporate will get a report from me about the situation and what actions have been taken. So, you have cameras? You can see everything? Yes, ma'am. If you look at that monitor right there, it shows the current images being recorded. We're pretty impressed with our cameras and how clear they are. No grainy black and white images for us. Full color and very clear footage. Karen. Well, you do that. I'm sure you will see she's clearly in the wrong for not going ahead and waiting on me, since I was already unloaded and it wasn't clear the lane was closed. Store manager. So there was no sign or the chain was not across? Well, I didn't notice if they were. I was unloaded. Everything out of my cart. It wouldn't have taken her but a few minutes, but she said she had other things to do. Store manager. Such as the customer she asked to wait here at the desk while she had to come inform you that you were unloading at a closed register? I don't know what she thought she had to do, but I was already unloaded and waiting. She should have just waited on me, or had one of those other baggers do it. Not that I have to explain it, but neither of them are register trained and cannot use one. Well, this is poor customer service. I think I'm calling my lawyer. Store manager. And with that, we're done. I will now have to defer you to our corporate legal department. I'm no longer allowed to talk to you about this situation since you've brought up legal action. All discussion about this matter will have to be done through your lawyer and our legal department. Thank you and have a nice afternoon. Mic drop. Both store manager and my boss turned away and came into the office where I was. Store manager did get statements from the 4 employees. They all 4 stated they clearly told her that the lane was closed and she said it would be fine. Someone would show up to ring up her groceries. The only thing my store manager told me to do for next time is go ahead and have a bagger help her move. Oh, someone did tell her to go to heck. One of the other customers she tried to cut in front of. Another one called her an entitled jerk to get out of their way and find the end of the line. Don't like the amount offered? Then take nothing and like it. My wife, female 31, and I, male 33, like many other Americans, are beleaguered under the for-profit medical insurance industry. My wife gave birth to our precious first daughter in September of 2021, and we've been dealing with taking the little one to the doctor. Already had an emergency room visit. Yay. And whatnot when we received the bill for the L&D at the hospital from December. We were charged over $20,000 for a straightforward regular delivery with an epidural. Even though I do not like our insurance, it covered a huge chunk of the amount due. That being said, there was still over $2,000 left. Well, with my wife being a teacher and myself being a state government worker, our income isn't exactly low, but neither is it high either. $2,000 out of pocket would put us into major debt. The hospital was very patient at first with trying to get paid until recently. I had been in communication with the hospital trying to negotiate the cheapest amount possible to clear the account. The hospital still wanted close to half of the amount in order to close the account out. I countered with what we could legitimately offer and co-signing myself to the addition of yet another auto debit coming out of our bank account because they weren't going to accept my offer. But then the account representative kept interrupting me during the phone call and was being outrageously rude. I understand that we have a debt, and I'm not trying to welch on it, but don't treat me like dirt because of this poor system that was charging my wife over $50 for one Advil, amongst other insanity. The account representative continued being nasty during the call and derisively suggested maybe I should go to the financial assistance program. So I did. I called the customer service line for that said program, and in less than 10 minutes, I was getting confirmation of the entire amount being forgiven. Apparently, when you make less than 300%, the federal poverty rate, and you go to most nonprofit hospitals, they will forgive the amount. The arrogant account representative tried to shame me into paying an outrageous price for services rendered and didn't want to accept my offer of paying some of the bill. So now they get absolutely nothing. Don't accept the medical bills that you receive. Fight tooth and nail to get it down. And if you're lucky, like my wife and I, you just may get it all cleared away. I don't know what I find weirder, The fact that you're charged insane amounts of money, or that you can just try to haggle it down, or even have it totally cleared away. Nothing tells you you've been ripped off more than being offered a huge discount afterwards. Wait, what? I get that Americans have a horrible healthcare system, but shouldn't a teacher and a state government employee make enough money so that $2,000 isn't a major debt? I consider a major debt something that takes months, if not years, to recover from. One of the many reasons I quit teaching was realizing that I would have to spend over half of my monthly income on housing forever. There was no getting ahead, even with a paid-off car and no other debt. I simply could not have paid $2,000 out of pocket without notice or help. I did a double take. Like, you're having a kid and you haven't saved up $2,000? Ay. Scrolled way too far to find this comment. If that's going to put them into major debt, they honestly can't afford kids. Heck, a pet would be sketchy if that amount is going to be a problem. Am I the jerk for refusing to buy him basic essentials after he blew his paycheck when he went out with his buddies? My boyfriend of 4 years and I work at the same place and get basically the same paycheck, about $560 bi-weekly. He has a lot more bills than I do because of fines he has to pay monthly, and his car insurance is extremely high. So usually I have like $400 after paying my half of the rent and bills, and he has like maybe $240-ish after all of his half and his other bills. Just to break it down, we go halves on all household stuff, including groceries. But his car and fines is 100% his responsibility, and my car is 100% mine. So on Friday, we pay all of our bills, per usual, and his buddy asks to go hang out with him. I've seen this before and forewarned him ahead of time that he needs to be cautious on spending because I wasn't covering things when he runs out of money. The last couple times he went out with buddies, he dropped like $140 for food and drinks, and I ended up having to pay for his gas for the next week, and he does this at least once a month, sometimes twice. He said that his buddy was covering dinner and paying for gas because he was driving a bit over an hour to get him, so it wasn't an issue. Alright, no problem. Well, he gets home on Saturday morning around maybe 4-ish in an Uber because he was trashed. And then he tells me that he spent $80 at the bar and that the Uber cost him almost $60, and his friend never gave him gas money because he forgot. So $140, not including the gas cost. I drive him to get his car later, wasting $30 in gas. At this point, he only has $40 left, which he used for gas for work. Well, he ended up asking me to get him food for lunch. We have food at the house, but he doesn't like bringing that stuff because it's not an easy meal, as in he would have to use the break room, Lord forbid, versus sit in his car and stuff his face while chain smoking. So he wanted me to buy snacks and sandwich stuff, as well as buy him body wash and toothpaste because he ran out. It would be one thing if this man had cheaper taste, but he doesn't. He is materialistic. So the body wash he gets is almost $18. The toothpaste he gets is almost $15, and his sandwiches consist of easily 8 pieces of meat, top-of-the-line ham and roast beef, and 2 pieces of cheese per sandwich, and he always brings 2 or 3 with him to work. So collectively, this would have cost me nearly $60, and once again, wouldn't have any money left over for myself. I'm sorry, but why are you with this guy? I wanted to get my hair done for my sister's wedding next weekend, and I wouldn't have the money for it if I were to do this for him again. So I told him no. I warned him beforehand, and he still went out and spent a ton of money. He says I'm the jerk because he would have done this for me, which is up for debate because who knows if he actually would, as I've always been good with my money and I've never needed his help, so who knows. Am I the jerk? Not the jerk. But to be honest, you don't sound like you like this person very much in the way you talk about these spending habits. I think you should really evaluate if you want to spend your future with someone this reckless with their money. OP, you're right. It does sound like that because the post is definitely outlining my most loathed quality about him. He's great outside of his spending habits, but the resentment I have built up over all these spending habits is quite high. He wasn't even like this until maybe a year ago when he had some sort of mental break. Then all of a sudden he started spending money like he was rich, which we are most definitely not. Money, especially differences in spending habits, is one of the leading causes of divorce. Do you want to be financially responsible for him? Well, who do you think is the jerk? OP or her boyfriend? Please let us know. This story stressed me out just listening to it. Financially responsibility irks me like no other. Am I the jerk for not giving my sister, a single mom, money for a car when I can afford to do so? I, 17 female, have an online shop that I've been running for about 2 years now. It sells mostly stickers with my custom art, as well as some other small items. I put a lot of work into it. Basically, if I'm not doing school stuff, I'm working on stuff for my shop. I love it. The lockdown has let me put in even more time. Over the past 10 months, it's really done well. I have a good chunk of money saved for university and other things. My sister, 25, female, is divorced with 2 kids, a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old. She has a job and child support. We've never gotten along. She always acted like she was embarrassed by me. She said I'm an antisocial nerd loser, which is fair. One of the things she always made fun of was my sticker hobby. She said stickers were juvenile, and I'm just creating more garbage in the world. She totaled her car recently and can't afford a new one. My parents told her to ask me for a loan. They can't afford to help her. And she sort of scoffed and asked them how much a loser like me could have. I don't even work. They told her how much I have in my bank account, and she called me demanding I buy her a new car. Not asking, demanding. She said I don't need the money, that I could get student loans like she did, and that I was a bad sister for not offering to help her out or pay her when I knew how tough she had it. She eats at restaurants all the time, buys expensive clothes and shoes and bags, makeup palettes, trips to the spa with her friends before lockdown. I had no idea she had it tough, but in fairness, even if I had, I probably wouldn't have given her money. At no point in this conversation did she mention paying me back. She said that I've never contributed anything to the family, which is a joke coming from her, and that further to buying her a new car, I should give her what I make from my dumb hobby, since as a single mom, she needs the money much more than I do, as I live rent-free at home and don't contribute to bills or groceries. The thing is, she's not wrong, but I don't want to give her a cent. She's my sister and I love her, but I don't like her very much. She's selfish and entitled, and it bugs me she just makes these demands like I'm the one being unreasonable. So I said heck no, and that she probably is too good for my baby sticker money anyway. I wouldn't want her to stoop to my level. Then I hung up and stopped responding to her texts, calls, and DMs. My parents won't force me to do anything. They say it's up to me, but that I should reconsider. She's my sister and is having a hard time, and there are 2 babies involved. They need a car. I don't strictly need the money right away like she does, and I was pretty snarky with her. So Reddit, am I the jerk?
Support our channel by joining as a member today, and we'll give you a shout out in our next video.
Or come watch this video next. You won't believe what Karen does in that one.